Trusts and foundations, two powerful legal structures that are often misunderstood. If you're living or investing in the UAE, these tools can help you protect your assets, manage succession, and control how wealth is handled long after you've gone, or even while you're still alive. In this video, we'll break down the key differences between trusts and foundations, when and why each is used, what kind of protection and control they offer, and when a DFSA-registered trustee is legally required. Let's begin by understanding the basics. What is a trust? A trust is a legal relationship, not an entity. It's created when a person called the settlor transfers assets to a trustee, who holds and manages those assets for the benefit of the beneficiaries. Trusts are flexible and discrete. They're particularly common in common law legal systems, and they're fully recognized within the UAE's common law jurisdictions, that is, DIFC and ADGM. That said, trusts require you to relinquish legal ownership of your assets. The trustee takes control, and you may issue a letter of wishes, but that's not legally binding. So while trusts offer strong protection, they involve placing a great deal of trust in someone else. What is a foundation? Foundations, by contrast, are legal entities. They can hold assets, enter contracts, and own property in their own name. Think of them as similar to a company, but instead of shareholders, a foundation is governed by a charter and a council, and it exists to serve a defined purpose. Foundations are ideal for holding family business shares, managing real estate portfolios, structuring legacy or philanthropic goals, and maintaining control while insulating assets from personal liabilities. Because a foundation is its own legal person, once you transfer assets to it, they're no longer yours personally. You can still influence how they're managed through the structure you set up. Which structure grants more control? One of the biggest distinctions between trusts and foundations is control. With a trust, you lose legal ownership. The trustee, licensed or otherwise, makes decisions, ideally following your guidance. But in the end, it's their fiduciary obligations that governs their actions, not your ongoing oversight. With a foundation, you can sit on the council or appoint people you trust. You can set up a protector or guardian to supervise decisions, and you can embed specific objectives into the foundation's governing documents. For people who want long-term control, particularly over family wealth or a business, a foundation offers a much more structured and customizable solution. Which structure provides more privacy and asset protection? Both trusts and foundations offer asset protection, but they do so differently. Trusts provide anonymity and flexibility. They are private, unregistered instruments and ideal for cross-border families or estate tax planning. However, their reliance on a third-party trustee means your protection depends on their integrity and legal compliance. Foundations offer transparency and insulation. Once assets are held by the foundation, they're ring-fenced. Creditors or claims against you personally typically can't reach them. The foundation can also be used to manage governance, reduce family disputes, and centralize control over complex holdings. In essence, trusts protect through distance, foundations protect through structure. What are the regulatory requirements? In some scenarios, especially in the DIFC, using a DFSA-registered trustee is mandatory. Here's when that applies. If the trust holds regulated financial assets, if it's part of a regulated wealth management offering, or if the trust will interact with entities under the DFSA jurisdiction. This ensures the trustee is subject to strict regulatory oversight, minimizing risks of mismanagement. It's an important layer of compliance that some settlers overlook, but it can be the difference between an enforceable structure and a legal headache. By contrast, foundations in the DIFC or ADGM don't require a trustee at all. They're self-contained. That's a major advantage for individuals who want protection without delegating too much authority. When do we use each? When might a trust be appropriate? If your primary concern is privacy and estate tax efficiency, if you need to protect family members discreetly, or if you're dealing with multiple jurisdictions that recognize trusts but not foundations. When does a foundation then make more sense? If you own a business and want it to outlive you, if you're concerned about family governance or succession, or if you want to stay involved in how your assets are handled. Foundations are particularly well-suited to UAE-based entrepreneurs, investors, and family offices, thanks to their built-in flexibility and governance features. Trusts and foundations both have their place in modern estate and asset planning, but they offer fundamentally different philosophies. Trusts say, let someone else manage this for your benefit. Foundations say, let's build a structure where your values, vision, and governance live on. For many individuals in the UAE, especially those who value continuity, control, and structure, a foundation is not just a legal tool, it's a long-term strategy. It gives you the ability to protect what you've built and shape how it's used without giving up control today. If you're considering asset protection or succession planning in the UAE, it's worth taking the time to understand both structures fully. No one solution fits everyone. Thanks for watching.